So I spent a lot of time up here as a kid. We lived about half an hour away, so this was like our playground, really. You know, and the thing about Mount Macedon too is that it's quite cool up here. So on a really hot day in summer, you come up here and it'll be maybe 10 degrees cooler. Beautiful shade, the forest. So yeah, this is really popular because it's so close to Melbourne as well. Yeah, I guess I should turn this off and start looking for fungi. Just coming across some a tree that's been felled here and is being chopped up. There was a lot of huge storms through here back in June, July, and the park was actually closed for quite some time as a result. I can imagine there'll be a fair bit of this sort of stuff on the track. So now we're in real fungi territory. All these fallen trees that have been here for quite some time. Let's have a look around the edges of these underneath. We need to look. This massive old remains of a tree. Imagine how big that would have been at one stage. Not a lot in here. Dark there. I do know I've got some photos from a while back in that very crevice. I wonder how long ago this fell down. It's been reclaimed by the forest now. No doubt habitat for many, many critters. This lake was built around 1899 to supply water to the tuberculosis sanatorium, which was located several kilometres south of here. Today the lake provides ideal habitat for a variety of wildlife. Amphibians, fish and invertebrates thrive in the lake. Many birds and mammals, including eastern grey kangaroos and swamp wallabies, use it as a drinking hole. Koalas often feed in the manna gums and Eucalyptus viminalis on the opposite side of the lake. The tender juvenile leaves a favourite food. Now into the deep dark forest. There are fungi on here. It's down in these little gullies with all the forest litter and debris. But really look for the fungi. In particular I'm looking for one called Mycena interrupta, which many people will be familiar with as being little tiny bright blue mushrooms that look like they're in a fairy story. But I have seen people posting images of them in the last week. I'm not having any luck so far today. There are some other fungi down here. I really wish I could say that I knew the names to these. I have done a few fungi identification walks, but my brain doesn't really retain a lot of that information too well. Well, having said that, I just turned around and what did I find? These things are tiny, like this. This is my finger. So I'm going to try and take some photos of these. They're just gorgeous. I love them so much. Yeah, and here we go. Pitfalls of roaming around in a rainforest is the leeches. So I've got some hand sanitizer in my bag, which will take care of this guy, no worries. I'm going to get back onto the track now, taking my photos of these little beauties. It's time to unleash myself. I think I can feel something on my leg as well now, so yeah, that happens. Yeah, so I've done a leg check, all good there, but there is one on my shoelace, looking for a meal. I'm going to remove him safely. They are part of the forest, and you know, they're just trying to survive. There you go, there he is. So I don't like to hurt them if I don't have to. I don't really like them clinging onto me and sucking my blood though. Well, that's it. Leeches are dealt with now. So yeah, I was really stoked to see the Mycena interrupter. I think I've got some good photos there. As you can see, they're really tiny. So now the leech has been evicted from my hand and from my shoe, and yeah, did a leg check, and yep, it's funny when you have a leech on you, you suddenly start to get a bit paranoid that there's going to be more, and I was sure that I could feel one attaching itself to my leg. It's happened quite a few times before. Now once I even got home from a hike, drove an hour home, noticed a bloody patch on my pants and rolled the pants up, and a big fat leech popped out. He was pretty happy he'd had a good feed that day. Incidentally though, while they're pretty harmless, I did end up getting an infection from that particular one, so yeah, good to be cautious. I ended up having to go on antibiotics at that time. Now this one, I'm fairly confident in saying what this fungi is. It's a bracket fungi. Could even possibly be called turkey tails. Don't quote me on that. I'm by no means an expert, but if it is turkey tails, these are edible. Don't go quoting me on that either, and don't eat them. Yeah, you can actually dry them and put them in tea. So, note to self, Mandy, always check your gas supply before you leave home. I guess I'll have a cup of water. Not so bad. I'm near a town, Mount Macedon, so I'll call in there and stimulate the local economy on my way down the mountain. So while I'm enjoying my water and some serenity, it was a lovely little walk. Not as many fungi as I'd liked. There will be more probably in the next few weeks, so I might come back out again. As I said, I'll try and make it out again in the month to check out the autumn colours as well. But while I'm sitting here, I'll have a bit of a chat about my camera and why I chose the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark III. I wanted something really robust to take on my adventures. The problem I had with my other DSLRs was that they were all a bit old, and none of them shoot in 4K, which kind of lets the whole video process down. So it was time for a new camera. It's weather sealed. It's really nice solid buttons here. I think the menu system will be easy to navigate once I'm used to it. It has this flip out screen which you can use if you're shooting upwards, or doing selfie mode and things like that. So it does have ports here, so I'll be able to attach my mic when it arrives. I've ordered a DJI mic. Yeah, I'm not sure how the battery life goes, But I've had a couple of friends with Olympuses that have been really happy. Scott, who I went to did the overland track with last year, he took his. He had a smaller lens, I think. This lens is a 12 to 40 millimeter pro lens. It's quite a heavy lens, so I was kind of tossing up between this and the 12 to 45, which is lighter. The reason I chose this one, A, was because they didn't have any of the 12 to 45 millimeters in the shop, but also the 12 to 45 I think is a f4 or 4.5. This one's an f2.8, so the aperture ranges from 2.8 to 22 and the focal range is from 12 to 40. It's not a full frame camera, it's a 4/3, so the 12 to 40 is the equivalent of a 24 to 80 millimeter focal length. So it's not going to be great for zoom. My focus on photography, I guess, or my priorities at the moment are probably more around your landscape, close-up things like your fungi, being able to record myself on something that's not the GoPro, and you have that really great image quality. So down the track I might add maybe a wide angle lens or a wider angle lens. A 50 millimeter would be great, and I'm not sure if they do one in the Olympus, to be honest, and also probably a better zoom, but I think you're looking at about $2,000 for a really good zoom on this camera, so it will be a little while before that's a priority, I'm afraid. But at the moment, I really like to, it's got this hot shoe here, so I'll be able to pop my my mic on there once I get the mic, but also it comes with a little external flash, so the flash isn't built in, it's a little external flash that you can angle up and down, and of course you could put any kind of flash on there that you wanted to. So I think it's a really good little unit. I'm pretty happy with it. Who doesn't love a new toy, eh? And so what did today's hike have going for it? I did about 3.2 kilometres. I was going to do a slightly longer track on that I found on All Trails, but I ended up just cutting a little bit short. I've got a few other things on this weekend. It was a really nice walk. I've been up here many times, as I've said. Just nice to get away. I was super stoked to see the Mycena interrupter. They're not that easy to find, but they are around. So when you do find them, it's really exciting. Now I'm just listening. You can hear the wind in the trees, you can hear people over yonder, kids excited, people laughing. And there are some bird songs and some noises of insects. Cheers.